1, 2.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to get this.
Oh, somebody pulled that off. That's that piece. Huh?
Yeah.
If they pull that off, there you can almost never get it back.
Toast. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
All right. So that is 3. How are you listening? Good, good.
Sarah Smith,
I, Brenda Bartels,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
of Glendale Elementary School District Number 40,
of Glendale Elementary School District Number 40,
Governing Board Member,
Governing Board Member,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
There you go. Congratulations. All right, we'll continue with our little reception here for about the next 10 minutes, so enjoy.
water? Yeah, just make much lights. I said this appreciation, and I don't know if I'm on board. I never decided. I just didn't really like the person information that put out all the things, even though the trust group provided it. This one didn't have all the personal information.
Testing.
Is this? There.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. This regular meeting of the Governing Board is now called to order. Let the record show that we have 5 all board members present this evening. And we're going to continue, but we're going to first start out with our organizational meeting, which is the election of our officers. We're going to start with President. So is there anyone here that would not like to be nominated for President? You would not like to?
I would not like to.
Okay. All right. So,
May I make a nomination, please?
yes, Ms. Bartels.
I would like to nominate Sarah Smith. I think with her skill set and her availability, give you a break and you can enjoy your retirement a little bit.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. So we'll start with Mr. Aldama.
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Bartels?
Aye.
Ms. Lidenfeld?
Aye.
And I have to say that I've known Ms. Smith for a while, and I've known her to be, you know, a very good community member, a good board member. She's been on our board since 2006?
Yes.
2006. So this will be her first time being president, I believe, and I think it's long overdue. And I've enjoyed being president, but it's time to pass the gavel. So I will vote aye. And Ms. Smith, you have the last vote.
Aye.
She has a deer in the headlight, but I'm pretty happy with that.
Congratulations. All right, so we, I'm sorry, I'm passing the gavel to you.
Okay, it is time to nominate our clerk of the board. So do we have any nominations at this time for clerk?
Madam President, I would like to place a motion on the floor to nominate our current clerk, Ms. Pimentel. I believe most of us on the board have done it twice, and I think she served well, and that would be my motion.
Do we have a second? All right, hearing no second. Have any other nominations?
I'm going to go ahead and nominate Ms. Bartels. I know that Ms. Pimentel has, served and would like to serve again. I think it's nice to go around in a circle, full circle. So give everybody a chance for that position. So I will nominate Ms. Bartels.
Do we have a second?
Can I second?
Yes.
Then I'll second.
All right, well, hearing that there is a motion and a second, then let's start with Ms. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel? Aye. Ms. Bartels?
Aye.
Mr. Aldona?
Aye.
And chair votes aye, so we now have a new clerk also. So at this time, I think we're going to switch some seats so we can,
The nameplates are,
well, that way
They're
they're
the president.
down. That way we can sit on there.
just for the record, that's where I started, way down there. I'm glad I don't have to do any more ditto at the end of the... Nice seeing you.
I'll just switch.
I was going to say.
You could go in the middle.
Huh?
You can go in the middle
Oh.
if you want to have a different seat.
I can go. All right.
Quick, let's go down,
Change the chair. Jeez.
Cupcakes, you win.
Here, you give that to... Still in between two.
No matter what I say, it's just at the end.
Yeah, you have to behave.
Oh, but I got the...
All right, so at this time, we actually have some opening exercises, and we will start with the adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right, so I need a motion.
Yeah, we need to do the pledge. Opening.
We'll do it after the... Okay.
So I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, can you please join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Can we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. I don't see any call to the public, so we are going to move to number 5, special recognition with our student presentation.
Yes, good evening, Madam President, members of the board. Ms. Teresa Pasillas and students from William C. Jack Student Beautification Team are here with us this evening with their families, and they're going to present us with information on the projects completed at Jack and the artwork for displays in the governing board this evening.
Good evening, school board member, Superintendent Sagata, and other guests. Thank you all for the opportunity to come and present on behalf of William C. Jack Elementary School. We're Jack School's Student Beautification Team. Well, you're all probably wondering what in the world is a Student Beautification Team? Well, we are a group of students who are first of the 21st Century Grant Program who work with Ms. Posillas to help the world with art, beautify the world with art and kindness. We would like to make our school more beautiful and to be good leaders. We want to get students, families, and the community to help and to make our school garden more beautiful and useful. And we want to share our art with others.
How's that for us and kid goals? Our first project was to create a flower bed using recycled bottle caps. As leaders, we did a school-wide collection of bottle caps. Oh boy, did we get a lot of bottle caps. See all the caps and they keep coming in.
Endless supply.
We wrote a note to every classroom with a collection bag. And did you know there are a zillion kind of bottle caps out there?
The recycled flower art from the school library to all enjoy. Aren't the flowers beautiful? We learned with a little help from others we could do big things. We would like to thank the district welder and Mr. Posillas for making the flower stands and the grounds department for the gravel.
We ordered a neat book called Another cool art project is our community web path. We really wanted to get some donated rocks. Boy, did we get a lot of rocks. Long ones, little ones, and fat ones.
All the students, teachers, and parents painted a rock. Dad painting a rock? Our path is so beautiful. It's getting longer and longer and longer.
We ordered a neat book called Only One You. The book is about being a good person and it's okay to be different.
The meaning of the rock path is just like the rocks, everyone is different, and that's okay because together we make the world a beautiful place.
Did you all get a chance to paint your rocks?
Yep.
Please hold them up. Wow, these are awesome. We will add the beautiful rocks to the community rock path. The old flower bed was a lot to read and it was a lot to work, so we decided to fix it. We took out the old flower bed and put in clay pot. We added dirt, we added flowers, and we painted pots. The pots are our pieces now, and they're so much easier to take care of and no more weeds. The lesson was if something's not working, be a problem solver and solve the problem. And that's just what we did. We like to draw, so we made a pumpkin fact chart for everyone to read and learn from. We drew out the part of a pumpkin, added pumpkin facts, a few songs, and put it in the garden area.
We started off with the pumpkin collection for the outdoor pumpkin patch for the we put out books and asked students and parents to bring in pumpkins. Our goal was 50 pumpkins, but guess how many we got? Well, we got about 70 pumpkins for the pumpkin patch. It showed us that we could go beyond our goals.
We shared art by making a king buddy bench. We found the old bench. We did some measuring and math. We painted hand tiles and we glued them and we grouted them. The kindergarten loved the new buddy bench. It helps them to learn and to share to find a new body. Raise your hands if you like to have a clean house. Wow, at Jack School, we like to have a clean school. So we started about the campus students beautification team.
We trained students to be a part of the cleanup team. We showed them how to sweep and how to use the trash picker-upper thing.
Can we please have 5 volunteers come down for a mini training session? We will help them to be a campus cleaner.
We're going to come volunteer.
She said 5.
Yeah, Cindy found a loophole.
I know.
I've always wanted to learn how to work the trash picker up thingy. So do it this way. Oh. Do I need a vest on?
Yeah.
This is just like at home, my wife doesn't give me the vest.
Aiden.
All right, I'm ready. I got it. Wait, do we have a trash can? Yep.
Aiden.
I don't know. I got to pick her up with thingy.
Please put the broom down.
Ah, well, she gave me this first. All right, I'll put it back. I feel bad.
Please put the broom down, push it forward, bring it back, and do it again and again and
Are we
again.
supposed to be in a straight line? Let's do a straight line, straight line. Okay, this doesn't work on carpet.
Good job on sweeping.
Now we got to pick it up. Okay. Turn it the other way, yes. Turn it the other way. Because it works better.
To use the trash pickup thing, you have to squeeze the handle, grab the trash.
I already have one. I see a trash can over there. Oh, you gonna put it right there?
Nice job picking up the trash.
you.
We're in their way. Yeah, but my jacket.
Thank you all for your help. You all did an awesome job. Now you could be part of our campus beautification team. Remember, our goal is to share art with others, so we made those paintings hanging over here. We would like to give the art to the district office to keep for everyone to enjoy. We created an art piece out of colorful circles, and an art piece out of recycled bottle caps, and then a tiled one with heart and rainbow designs. And to show appreciation for all you do to help students, parents, and schools. We made a circle Kandinsky coaster for each of one of you to place your drinks on. Kandinsky was an abstract artist who used bright colors in an art piece. We hope we have helped everyone here love art even more. We hope they go out and beautify the world with art and kindness. Thank you!
You guys did a terrific job.
You gotta stand up, they can't see you.
Thank you.
I think you want to take it back to your garden. We're going to give you all of our rocks. Mrs. Patrice is going to take them.
Should they take them there?
They take their rocks.
Thank you.
You guys want the rocks? Yeah. Hey, we have some rocks that were painted for you guys to take back also. Yeah.
Here you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, were there still two over on that table? Those are for you guys to take back. I know who did those two.
It's cold in It's cold.
I think he's gonna.
It's cold.
Well, we would like to thank our Jack students for their wonderful presentation and for all that nice artwork. Miss Wilson and I were down there admiring it before the meeting started, and we really liked the bottle caps because we were surprised that they were all different types of nerds.
Yeah, I didn't know which one it was. They run. No script. No written script.
You guys want to continue? Ready? Want to just continue? Ready?
Ready?
Yeah. We're going to continue on with the meeting. Again, we just want to thank everyone for that wonderful presentation. That was one of my favorite ones I've ever had since I've been on this board. That was just, that was terrific, and how well rehearsed they were doing that. So at this time, it is time for us to go to our consent agenda. Are there any items that any board members would like pulled at this time? Okay. I would like to pull item L. So this time, if we could have a motion.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda omitting item L.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. All right. The reason I pulled item L is because of the hearing officer list that was on there. I know that it was sent to us by the trust board, but in the future, can we just redact the personal information before it comes onto our agenda?
Yes, we can.
All right. So I'll just move that we approve the hearing officer list unless there's any other discussion on it.
I'll second.
All right. Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. Now we're on to number 7, reports and information.
Yes. Madam President, this evening we're very excited to present to you the marketing plan, the update. As you've noticed throughout the year, we've talked about our partnership with GCU and that they would be coming to present at the beginning of the year with a marketing plan. We have with us this evening Brian Bloomer and Chad Wilson from GCU. What we've done, just a little bit of information, is we began last late spring working with GCU, and they conducted a community survey for us. They're going to give us the results and highlight some of the results of that. You have the comprehensive report in your packets, but they're going to go over just some of the executive summary pieces of that, and then they will also discuss with us and share with us the marketing plan. And we've been working with them, like I said, since late spring, and we're very excited to share that information with you this evening. So, Brian.
Good evening. My name is Brian Bloomer. Last time we were here, well, first of all, this is just a quick roadmap of what we're going to go over. We're excited to be at this stage. Last time we were here, we talked about the fact that we were about to commence on a perception study before doing any sort of execution on building a brand campaign. So the first thing we want to do tonight is introduce the results, kind of the high-level view of the results of that perception study, and then we'll get into the strategy and then actually introducing what the look and feel of the new campaign will be. So the study, the main point of this study was to make sure that we really understand what people actually do think of the district, what our stakeholders think, before we make assumptions and go down the road of go down sideways. We want to make sure that we understand it. So the main goal was to understand those perceptions. We wanted to use those insights, obviously, to attract and retain students to the district, and we want to make sure that we're providing a compelling experience for those students and parents. It was a phone survey. We completed it in August. It was conducted in both English and Spanish, and it covered the entire area. We had respondents from all 17 schools in the district. This just shows you some of the key findings, and I've highlighted some of the positive ones, some of the most positive ones. The interesting thing was that just unaided, right off the top, that respondents had very positive things to say just with an open-minded question. So, and they laid out, and I've got a detail slide on that coming up here, but they made comments about the quality of education, the quality of the teachers, and an overall good experience with the district. And when asked to give a letter grade to the district, more than 6 in 10 gave Glendale Elementary School District an A or B, which we were pleased to find. And more than 2/3 of those with a preschooler at home said they were planning to send them to kindergarten at Glendale Elementary School District. And on a scale of 1 to 10, when they were asked to rate the district on a scale of 1 to 10, 41% of them fell into what we would call active promoters category, which is they gave it a 9 or a 10. There were some that were on the passive end of that, a 7 or 8, and then 37% were what we would call detractors because they were on the bottom half of that, 0 to 6. But overall, the net score of promoters ends up being 4, which is good. It's positive. And then 60% of respondents said that they felt like Glendale Elementary School, the schools in the district, are on their way up. Then we asked them to rate various programs, and it's notable that the highest one, they felt like STEM were the most important. 85% of respondents mentioned STEM programs, and then they also mentioned tutoring, honor roll, and accelerated classes. All of those came up, ranked highly. Just get into a couple of details on some of those higher points. When we look at the the grading for the different types of schools, it's interesting to note that more people gave an A or a B to faith-based private schools in the area. Glendale Elementary School District is close behind with A or B grades, and then actually charter schools, there were fewer, quite a bit fewer, that gave an A or B to charter schools. And then here's just some verbatim comments, and I won't read through all these, but there are a few that I wanted to highlight. These are from that top of mind perception, just unaided. The question was, based on what you know or have heard, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of education provided by the schools in Glendale Elementary School District? And comments were things such as these. I think they're doing a good job. They're excellent schools. For me, the schools have functioned very well. These are the schools my kids are in, and they're good because the teachers are good. I think of caring teachers. They actually listen to the students. So there's some, this is just unaided. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of the school district? I thought that was really significant, and we've got a lot of positive to build on. We did discover that there was some gap in perception that we need to fill, where they did mention in some of the negative comments, they felt like there weren't enough resources, and the facilities needed help, there weren't enough supplies for students, things like that, which just isn't reality. So that's what we're about, is changing perception to match reality. So Chad is going to talk a little bit more about, get into the nuts and bolts of it here.
Hello, Madam President and Board. Thank you for having me. I'm Chad Wilson, Creative Director over at Grand Canyon University. First of all, wow, what a great presentation by those kids. That was amazing. And what I'm going to reveal to you and the creative that we're going to show actually aligns fantastically with what they've done here and what they're doing with the elementary school. So it was really quite nice to see that they're already pushing the envelope in terms of showcasing art and helping out and being part of the community that way. So with the campaign, all the points that Brian had mentioned, I just want to note that there were some really good positive things that came out of that study. Even though there's some decrease in enrollments over the last few years, there's a lot of great things that GESD is doing, and we just need to speak louder about it. And I think that you guys are doing a fantastic job, and what we can do and help you guys along there is just put it into a framework that can really get attention and get people to realize that there are great resources, there are great teachers, there's great curriculum, there's great athletics and music, and there's all these great things that you guys are doing and putting all this work into. So the goal of the campaign really is to kind of switch that trend of declining enrollments and put it into a more positive perspective. Also, changing those perceptions. And I think if we can just state the message a lot louder and clearer, people will start to understand that things are on the way up as the perception, as the study found, 60% of the folks said GESD is on the way up. And then just generate overall awareness of all that. So our targets, just quickly, parents in non-district education, and by proxy of just running a campaign, you're going to hit a secondary target audience of non-district and district folks. You're going to get community members, you're going to get politicians and business leaders, so they're going to get the nice messaging too, but your primary is to get parents of non-district folks to pay attention. So that's what we're going to do. I kind of touched on this a little bit a few minutes ago, but there's a decline happening, but there's some great things that you guys are doing. So we're going to help align that and put it forward. And I think by highlighting the whole student approach that you guys put into your curriculum and the way that the teachers and the staff function here at the schools is going to just really create this foundation for the students to just grow and become strong community members and just help the community thrive. And the other thing I want to point out is that you guys have a great neighborhood feel. You have front porch homes, and you can have kids and everybody walking by and just being a collaborative neighborhood feel. That's another asset that you guys have that a lot of other schools in the area don't have. And I think as we get into the creative that I'm going to show you, you'll start to see how that comes to life. Some things here, the communication aesthetic, again, community, neighborly, family, welcoming, and just very visual. You have a lot of diversity in your neighborhood, as you know. A lot of different languages are spoken, so instead of having to translate everything into multiple different languages, we can just have visuals and just a kind of a universal color palette that speaks to vibrancy and can speak to multiple cultures in a way that communicates this very straightforwardly. So you'll see that as I get into it. So one thing that you guys have been doing a long time now is running this positioning statement, all in for all kids. It's really strong. That message is really strong. It's really appropriate for what you guys are doing. So instead of reinventing the wheel of coming up with a new tagline or a new positioning line, we thought it would be important to keep it all in for all kids, but give it a little bit more of a boost and put some interesting colors, patterns, something a little that can relate to a lot of different heritage pieces with the different cultures that you have, and really highlight with imagery of students in classrooms, students engaging in the community, participating in science and music and things like that. And this platform really pulls that together. And as we go through the different pieces, I'm going to show you signage, I'm going to show you radio ads, I'm going to show you some social media executions, and just kind of think of how this can play out, and just think of the heritage and the playfulness and what we're trying to do with the different colors and the patterns and whatnot. So some support lines that we developed for All In for All Kids is a mosaic of the minds. That message is really important to speaking to the heritage and the diversity of your neighborhood. The mosaic piece really tied with those visuals, just kind of, it's almost like a dual layer of approaching that community and that diversity in a positive way. So we really felt that Mosaic of the Minds is a really strong support to All In for All Kids. I'm going to go through a series of fence banners that could go on the multiple different schools that you have in your district. Here's a Spanish version. So taking that idea of All In for All Kids and showcasing some different words to support what we're trying to do, so it starts to open it up and bring it a little bit more broad. So this one is All In for Community. And then you can get into specifics that the schools offer: All In for Athletics, All In for the Arts, All In for Music, those types of things. Again, I had mentioned that you guys have a great asset of the downtown Glendale Township community, utilizing those assets of the street poles, put banners up to really get this vibrancy out in the community. Here's just a quick version of that. All In for STEM. You saw in what Brian was talking about, the 85% of the students really appreciate the STEM programming that you guys have. This is just a sample of what a brochure may look like. So with geo-targeting and Geo-targeting is just a way to provide a message within a certain demographic, certain geo area. We can do that pretty granularly with Pandora and Spotify and some other digital radio mechanisms, media. So this is an example of what a Pandora app might look like. I'm going to go ahead and play that.
In Glendale Elementary School District, we are a mosaic of minds. It's our unique differences that construct a diverse foundation for vibrant futures in school classrooms and throughout the heart of Glendale. Together, we establish pillars of academic excellence and build strong community leaders ready to give back. In Glendale, community strengthens education. Education is architecture, and our community becomes the architects who are all in for all kids. Join the family at gesd40.org.
So that's just one of three. I have two more to show you. We would suggest running 3 messages because you have so much content and so much to say that why just try to put it all in 30 seconds? Let's create multiple. With digital radio, it doesn't matter how many ads you have. You can really just get more depth of message out there by just creating more spots. And it's all good because it ties back to the All In for All Kids message. So here's the second one.
In Glendale Elementary School District, we are a mosaic of minds weaving our community's story into one with a bright future. School leaders pour their hearts into shaping education excellence and strong community leadership. Our dedicated teachers passionately lift up each and every student so they can leave a lasting mark on our community. When we invest in Glendale, we invest in our future. Glendale teachers are all in for all kids. Choose your district at gesd40.org.
And the last one.
Glendale Elementary School District is a mosaic of minds, a community coming together to lay the foundation for unrivaled achievement. We establish pillars of academic excellence and build tomorrow's socially responsible leaders, our community's future leaders. Curriculum serves as a blueprint designed for students to reach their fullest potential. This is education that matters. From dual language and the arts to science fairs and STEM, we are your district, all in for all kids. Learn more at gesd40.org.
So that's just scratching the surface of what can be done with your messaging. From a social media standpoint, we thought Facebook has a really good platform to get our message out to potential parents of students. So this is just a mock-up of what the district school and each school could have as a banner on their Facebook page. And then we also thought running strategic Facebook ads, targeting folks would be a smart way to go about getting your message out as well. So I have 3 versions of that to share.
In Glendale Elementary School District, we are a mosaic of minds who are all in for all kids. Join the family at gesd40.org.
So these are a lot shorter than the 30 seconds. That was about 10. You want to keep, on social media, the idea is to keep it short and sweet because everybody has 0 attention span nowadays.
Glendale Elementary School District's dedicated leaders and passionate teachers are all in for all kids. Choose your district at gesd40.org. Glendale Elementary School District stands for community, commitment, and excellence. We are your district, all in for all kids. Learn more at gesd40.org.
This is an idea that we had for each one of the schools in the district to have a custom mural done in the entryway for each school, and just to really showcase those patterns and the colors and to reiterate that strong stance of all in for all kids. And in discussion with the board here, why not utilize some of your assets, some of your traveling billboards really is what this is. We need to work with the transportation folks and see if we can go beyond certain areas on the bus, but that could be a really striking display of the message out in the community. I mean, those buses are already out there, so why not take advantage and put messaging on that? And then we have bumper stickers as well for cars. And Brian actually has some mock-ups he's going to go ahead and pass out to the board.
Are we allowed to put them on our cars now? No, not yet. Maybe I better ask.
So that's the presentation on the creative platform and messaging and the media recommendations that we have at this time. So if you have any questions, we're happy to answer anything this time.
Do you have anyone have any comments?
I have a comment. The bus, that struck me because I know, when I'm out driving around in the community, it's us, it's our high school district, it's different charters and the charter bus lines that they use. So that got my attention right away to make us stand out in our own community, that we're here.
Yeah, I think there are some rules and guidelines against doing a full bus wrap, which would be fantastic with that design. It could just be this amazing thing driving down. But I think if we could even get away with what that was, that would be very eye-catching.
Yeah. I like the banners, too, in downtown Glendale. Those are really attractive. And I think you had mentioned that, one of the best advertisements really is us and how we talk, and how we're always, saying how great, our teachers are and our staff and the programs and just, GESD in general. So, but this sure, helps the people to get excited about that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have data on the amount of individuals who took the survey and were they cell phones or were they residential?
I believe it. Brian, you may have that data.
The phone survey was landline and cell phone. That ended up being tough to actually get a huge number of people. It was less than 200 people.
How many?
It was I think we ended up with 155. Still, it was just enough to be statistically significant and with a reasonable margin of error.
150 people we wouldn't have spoken to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Madam President, I really like this. I like all the inclusive colors. When you go to school, you think of the kids and they're colorful and their personalities are colorful and their clothing is colorful, and I think this keeps it with our original all in for all kids, but this really, I just kind of kicks it up a notch, I guess, for lack of a better term. I like it.
Thank you.
So all of this, sorry.
No, just great work.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
So a lot of these ideas came from at the university, or is it just through?
We do have a student agency that work alongside with us. So yeah, it was a collaborative effort with a full-time mentor staff that work alongside Brian and I, but then we bring the students in and have them share in the idea, collaboration, and they get to work on the materials as they go out into the public. So yeah, it's a collaborative effort.
Yeah, it was really a great showing up here. I wasn't expecting this much to come back to us today, so thank you so much for what you have done.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mentioned this to Cindy and the team here, that what you guys are doing is fantastic. Where you're located, what you have to offer the university, it's just a really rich school district and neighborhood, and there's just a lot of meat to grab onto in terms of messaging and something to say. And this is a demonstration of that. And I was just blown away by that rock bed and stuff. I mean, it really ties into what this kind of echoes, and it was great. So you guys are.
It almost seems like you kind of got, who copied who.
Right. I'll let the kids take the credit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Madam President, if I may, thank you, Chad and Brian, so much for your work. One more thing that we did ask them to do, and we had winter break and everything, is they are also working on creating a new logo for us, too, that ties everything in as well.
Yeah, that's terrific. I think it'll make a big difference. All right, we can go on to 7B, or revised regulations and exhibits.
Yes, Madam President. Revisions to the following regulations and exhibits are provided for the governing board review and information. GCKR, professional staff assignments and transfers. GCKEA, removed. GCKEB, removed.
Does anyone have any comments on these?
Did I overlook, was there a time limit or I should say time limit as to when a teacher can apply for a transfer? Is there a deadline?
Yep.
Yes. I missed that.
Yes.
Yes, Madam President, board members, and Superintendent Sagata-Jones, there is a timeline. Right now, we're putting out intents, then we'll roll out contracts, approval to the board, then the transfer window opens, and it's a window. And there's a window of time when they can put in the transfer, and then I believe the window closes right around the beginning of May, so that any transfers are done, so that there's not a lot of movement after that, so new hires can be, we can get everybody slotted into their correct positions, and principals know what their staffs are going to look like going into the summer, if they're going to be doing any PD that way. And it's about a 2.5 month window, the transfer process. You're welcome.
Any other comments? All right, we can move on to 7C, our dual language immersion program update.
Yes, Madam President. Administration will present an update on the dual language immersion program at William C. Jack and Horizon Elementary School District. As you know, this is one of our innovations and one of our what we want to use to market the district as well. So we're excited to present that to you. Dr. Jerry Peterson and Provia will begin that presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Sagata-Jones, Madam President, members of the board. We are here to present an update of the dual language immersion program, which I know many of you have been a part of intimately. And so we have 3 parts to this presentation. That does not mean that it'll last 3 hours, but it'll be 3 parts. The first part will be a video piece, and then Ms. Castillo, the language acquisition director, will give a short presentation just about where we really are with it and where we're going with it. And then we are going to, it'll end up, the finale will be students performing the Pledge of Allegiance in both languages, which is very exciting to see. So if we'll start with video first.
The dual language program is a way to get students to learn in 2 languages. In this case, it's Spanish and English. And it focuses on bilingualism, biliteracy, and biculturalism.
I have a kindergartner enrolled in the dual language program because I heard about the program and I was just automatically like, yes, I want my child to learn Spanish. I want her to have that experience with a different language and a different culture. I want a better future for her. Knowing 2 languages, it's way better than knowing 1.
It's the perfect age to learn a new language. They're little sponges and they pick everything up. I'm really surprised at how much they learn because there's a lot of things that I don't teach explicitly. I just speak and they pick up on it.
I think she gets really happy when she figures out how to say a word. Like, for example, her homework yesterday was words that's like dijo, like sight words in Spanish, and she could read them now. And I get really happy. She surprises me a lot.
But she sings a lot of Spanish songs. She uses Spanish words. She says she has to go baño, and she's pretty cute.
There's a lot of transfer going on right now between the English language and the Spanish language. I see them coming into my classroom, content or skills that they've learned in the English and applying them here, and vice versa.
She knows a lot of words, but like I said, she couldn't put in a sentence, and now she can.
I think it's going to just help her to think in a different way. I think it's going to help her to fold in information into her brain more effectively, since she's learning right now to blend and use 2 different languages. It's going to really help her with all areas of learning.
With other people being bilingual now in the States, you are able to communicate with them, compete for different jobs. There is a saying that goes, dos lenguas vale por dos. Dos lenguas vale por dos. That means knowing 2 languages, you're worth for 2.
I think she could get a better job, a better position.
she has more opportunities of them picking her than other people that only know one language.
I would absolutely recommend this program to any parent, whether they have a Spanish-speaking child or an English-speaking child or any. It's going to help the kids so much. She is learning a new language, which is fantastic. She is learning how to deal with different teachers, which is wonderful because for a kindergartner, you don't always get that experience. And she's just getting a wonderful education.
She's learning a lot, something that I didn't really expect. More. Yes, she does come home sometimes, say, oh, Mom, it's a bit hard, and I'll be like, no, just keep trying, and she does.
Kids are capable of so much, and you put something in front of them and it challenges them and they have to struggle to do it, then they feel so much more accomplished when they've actually done it, and they can do it. They can do anything. They're amazing.
How do you like that video? I saw it yesterday. Thank you, Jim. This is a regular day in the dual language immersion classrooms. And the day starts with the Pledge of Allegiance in English or Spanish, depending on the classroom, the target language of the classroom. Students are also exposed to workstations, guided reading, shared reading. Our district has a unique model of literacy for our dual language programs. It's the simultaneous literacy. So they're learning to read, write in both languages through the content areas of social studies and science. Math is taught in Spanish. In the English classroom, what they do, they review the concepts and vocabulary of the math concept, whatever they have learned. And we're planning in the next couple of years, getting closer to third grade, to increase the math time in English to get them ready for the AC merit in English, because math will be, the test will be in English. Besides that, let me see, what else do they do? I talk to teachers. We meet frequently with both of the schools, administrations and teachers. We meet quarterly to talk about the program, the things that are going well, things that they need to improve. And I always amazed, when they share what is happening in the classroom. I'm there in the classrooms too, and we have seen kids already transferring their language, finding similarities and differences between both languages. And research says that this is the process, or a meta-linguistic awareness process that a bilingual person develops in their brain. So, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Transfer of language, cognates. Cognates are words that are similar in both languages, English and Spanish, and their spelling may be a little bit different. For example, police, policía, numbers, números, or hospital, hospital. So they are noticing that, and they're going to the other classroom telling the English teacher, oh, this can be said also in Spanish like this, and vice versa. So they're starting to do that, to develop that meta-linguistic awareness of the languages that they're learning, which is wonderful. That's what we want. Let me go over the levels of language proficiency in Spanish. Right now in kinder, the expectation is for students to be at the novice, low level, which is practicing familiar words with the calendar time that they do in the classroom, phrases, one or two word phrases. That's the novice low. Oh, thank you. Who's doing that? Thanks. Thanks. Because I said, oh, great. I was supposed to be doing that. Oh my gosh. I'm so entertained here. And I'm looking like, oh, okay. And then, So right now it's about using single words and memorize phrases. Second semester, we're already seeing as many of our students that they are going into the, let me see. That's the novice level. Some of our students are now entering the novice mid level, which is the use of more words when they are communicating with each other in a variety of letters and sounds. After the novice low level and the novice mid levels are for kindergarten, and then in first grade and second grade will be at the novice. We're expecting students to reach the novice high level, which is putting sentences together. However, we already have students that are able to do that. Short sentences, many of them are, especially the ones that have that heritage language at home where they can practice. So that's, for now, I would like to share with you the updates. All 4 dual language kinder teachers are returning next year, so that's a big yes. 4 vacancies are being posted in the district website for the first grade level teachers. Will be 1 for English and 1 for Spanish for Jack, and the same for Horizon. We already have teachers interested in teaching the dual language English target language classroom. So that will be easy to fill, and we are looking for the teachers that will teach Spanish. Let me see. As a district and throughout our dual language collaborative team meetings, we always talk to teachers about the needs in the classroom, and especially in the Spanish target language classroom. So we decided to put some money, funding to purchase supplementary Spanish literacy for both classrooms, Horizon and Jack, and as well as building their classroom libraries, because we were very low on literacy in Spanish. You probably heard there are 2 informational parent meetings that have been scheduled. The first meetings will start next Tuesday and Wednesday, 1 at Horizon on Tuesday and Wednesday at Jack. Then we have another 2 meetings scheduled in February. The Spanish as a second language class for parents will start next Tuesday as well. So I'll be, I don't know, Alex is going to help me go to the Spanish classroom. I'll be in both the informational parent meeting and the Spanish as a second language classroom. I would like to see how our teachers will deliver those lessons. We purchase materials and a digital coursework for the parents. So I'm crossing my fingers that that will be a successful classroom and we'll have more participants. The dual language collaborative meetings, as I mentioned before, we meet quarterly, both schools and both groups of teachers and administrators. And with that, I think I am, that's a postcard that supposedly was mailed. It was mailed during Christmas break. Right. And I know because I heard that many people have received the postcard. And this is the schedule of meetings for our parents. These are for our kinder, we're enrolling new kinder students to the program. And we may take also, depending on numbers, new students for the first grade classrooms. Any questions?
Yeah, question. For the teachers who teach in the Spanish language, excuse me, are there compensation incentives for those teachers?
Spanish language, no. But what we do is, because they're meeting, teachers are developing materials. We are making sure that they do this. If they do it after school, we are being compensated for that.
But there's no specific stipend for a teacher who chooses to move into the
No.
language program?
Now, students that are in the kindergarten dual language immersion program now, they're automatically in first grade, or is that another request?
Excuse me?
Do the students that are in the kindergarten,
And they're going to move to first grade?
Yeah, do they automatically move into first grade, or do they have to request?
Yes. It's just if in any families, they come here and they say, well, I would like to enroll my child in first grade. The enrollment criteria allows for that. But after first grade, it will be one-on-one, and we will have to talk to the parents about how much Spanish the child already knows. We're talking about second and third grade. Yeah.
But to answer your question, Ms. Wilson, that yes, it's an automatic
Yeah.
roll-up for the students. When we did the information sessions in the spring, it was very clear with parents that it's a multi-year program and not just, and so when you are signing up, it's not an every year kind of thing. It's a multiple year thing.
I remember that very clearly because I attended the meetings at Jack, and that was pointed out. If you're going to join this, it's to 8th grade. You know, the goal is to, have that level so that you've already got credit at high school and can maybe even do some college level while you're in high school at that time to satisfy those requirements.
I have to say my granddaughter is in the kindergarten dual language immersion at Horizon, and she just loves it and loves her teachers. I see both of them here, Ms. Dillawart and Ms. Albert.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's, and it's amazing how she has the dialect down, and so her sisters will say a word in Spanish. She has to correct them.
I just wanted to share that Ms. Bartels and I, over the Christmas break, we went to the Glendale Glitters, and, the Jack speakers that we saw here, they were terrific, but I thought that our little Spanish kindergartners almost stole that show from them because they did such a good job singing, and then also Mrs. Livingstone that was shown in the video, and, she's posted also of her daughter singing, the Spanish songs, and I just think it's a terrific program, and I think that Mr. Cummings did a nice job with the video.
Absolutely. I would like to thank the teachers for the commitment and their passion, the teachers and the principals. I mean, this program is going to be very successful because of the teachers. It's hard work, but they are so passionate, and if you want to see them in action, please visit the classrooms. It's amazing.
I think she should introduce them.
Can you introduce the teachers that are here?
Yes. Okay, Mariana, please stand up. She is the Spanish component teacher. Erin, Jack, the English. We have Angelique from Horizon. She does the English component. And we have Concepcion de la Huerta. She does the Spanish. And we have Sarah Balder, the principal, and Dennis. He's at the back. That's my team.
Well, thank you for the, is there a third part to this? I just want you to know I did get my postcard in the mail, too. I did, yeah.
Mine too.
Great.
Students and teachers, thank you so much for all your hard work. Principals, thank you for leading this charge at your schools. And thank you, Mr. Cummings, for this wonderful video. We really appreciate that. And thank you for the time to present that.
Thank you. All right. Well, at this time, we have no action items and meetings.
The next meeting is scheduled January 24th. We had a special meeting, and we would like to continue that special meeting. In addition to that, if possible, we would ask governing board if they're interested in a study session. We are, as you know, we've seen the marketing. I think I've said before, once we looked at marketing, that was one piece of what we're going to do to help with the declining enrollment, but also, as you know, we are in a budget deficit because of approaching that because of a declining enrollment. I think we need to begin those conversations about what do we do with the declining enrollment, with the knowing that we are going to have to make some difficult decisions for the 1920 school year, and we need to look at enrollment, we need to look at staffing. So I would ask a study session fairly soon so that we can have some conversations about, we've been doing a lot of conversations in executive team. We're looking at the demographics, we're looking at a second demographic study. Remember before we talked about the birth rate, we want to make sure that that information is still accurate, which we believe it is to be. We're also, as you know, if you drive down Glendale Avenue, we have a new charter that is coming up. It's projected to take 1,000 kids. Mr. Badagan believes it will take at least about 850 kids. We don't know from where they're going to take it, but we also, there are schools going up on the west side, so we're extremely concerned about that. We don't want to be blindsided by anything. We are looking at actually what our enrollment predictions are, and we're under those. So, and with current year funding, you know, that doesn't do us any favors as well. So there's some difficult conversations that we need to have, but we need to begin those immediately. So I'd ask for your consideration of a study session.
Ms. Pimentel, you're good with the 24th? How's everyone else with the 24th?
Are you looking at regular time? Really? Or?
That would be at the board's request. How would you like to do that?
What's the earliest everyone's available?
4.
Good for me.
Let's do the 24th at
24th at 4 o'clock. Thank you. And just, Madam President, just because we've been with a break and there could be a small, necessary to do a small business meeting afterwards if there's anything that needs to be on that agenda, such as purchase orders and those types of things, because it's been a long time since we've been back. Thank you.
Anyone want to request anything to go on?
Okay. I actually was listening to a webinar that ASBA hosted earlier today, and it brought back if we could have a study session in the future. I know we need to address the enrollment first, but with regards to our disciplinary, how we handle that, our percents, are we, you know, in alignment with, you know, our demographics and, you know, unfairly punishing harsher one group versus another, you know,
So discipline it in proportion to ethnicity?
Yeah.
Okay.
And gender?
And gender.
You can have those reports in the board
update. We provide some of those already into the board update, so let me get that information. Once you receive that information, we can determine what next steps could be needed. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to number 10, our Superintendent Report.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Very excited for a couple things that have been happening. Don't forget on Saturday, Glitter and Glow is going to be from 4 to 10 if it doesn't rain. If it rains, it's canceled, but we will have a booth there, and we will be promoting the district from 4 to 10 that day. Also, I wanted to announce that Courtney Pena from our business office has been appointed to the Board of Directors for Mojave. So that's a great piece for us. Also like to announce, we sent to you, that Shannon Glue from Food Services was on Channel 3 today. She did a remarkable job with food services. It was great. Thank you, Shannon. In addition, I'd like to announce that We did receive over winter break, or right when we got back, we've been awarded through Volkswagen 5 new buses. So we're excited about that. And the last but not least, I would like to take this opportunity. This is National School Board Association Appreciation Week, or Board Member Week. And I did tweet, but for those of you that don't follow me on Twitter, this is what I tweeted, and I would like to read this in public because it truly is important. The beginning of the new year brings us National School Board Appreciation Month. Glendale Elementary School District is happy to celebrate this month by recognizing 5 incredible board members. Marianne Wilson, President, now it would be Sarah Smith, President, Monica Pimentel, Clerk, now Clerk, Brenda Bartels, Jamie Aldama, Member, Brenda Bartels, Clerk, and then Sarah Smith, as I said, Board President. We'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the continuous efforts of each of our board members who dedicate countless hours of hard work to meet the goals of our organization. We appreciate their attendance at school and district functions, their commitment to their own professional growth, and admire the challenging decisions they are faced with in improving education for our students. They are dedicated individuals who take on an enormous job of governing GES Elementary School District. We value all they do for the future of our students, staff, and community, hands down. They are all incredible members. We extend our deepest thanks to each of them for their endless servant leadership. We truly do appreciate you. As you can tell, we have a water bottle that says I, and that's for the Incredibles. And we also would like to present to each of you when we leave, I hereby certify an incredible governing board member for his outstanding service and commitment to the Glendale Elementary School District, Jamie Aldama. Thank you.
Thank you.
And hands down, thank you, a little gift for you.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to recognize Brenda Bartels. I hereby certify an incredible governing board member for outstanding service and commitment to the Glendale Elementary School District. And thank you. Hands down. In the bag, it's all theme, because you'll pull that out and say, what was she thinking? It's a theme. You know, by now I come with themes, okay? Monica Pimentel, I hereby certify is hereby certified as an incredible governing board member for outstanding service and commitment to the Glendale Elementary School District. Thank you. And Sarah Smith is hereby certified as an incredible governing board member for outstanding service and commitment to the Glendale Elementary School District. Thank you. Oh, we're getting bags. Oh, bags. Monica, bags. Okay. A lot, hands down. I really wanted to buy you the hands down game, but they weren't available anymore, so that means I'm really old. So, Marianne Wilson is hereby certified an incredible governing board member for outstanding service to the Glendale Elementary School District. Thank you. There's your bag. And then something else you'll know about me, I am about homework. So, you know, we will be traveling to the conference in SBA, and the keynotes are there, and they have 2 great books, so I purchased the books for you, so that, you know, it is a 5-hour flight on that plane, so that might be some good reading for you. And then we did attend ASBA, and the presenter was there, and we purchased those books for you as well, so thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for all you do.
Well, thank you, that was very nice. So now it's time for governing board report. Oh, give the mic. We got a video, it's not over yet.
Thank you so much. Thank you. 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 Thanks so much. Thank you. You rock.
Thank you.
Well, Ms. Pimentel, I guess you get to comment first.
Well, I'm going to start out with thank you, because it is such an honor to serve with such wonderful people on this board. One, an amazing superintendent.
superintendent who in the last, I guess really just 6 months has just, I can't even verbalize it. You are just amazing. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Have an amazing team right there. They're all sitting out there.
We do have an amazing team, and it's truly an honor to work with each and every one of you because we are just advocates. You guys are the ones doing the hard work, and I'll speak for myself, but I think I could speak for everyone when I say thank you from the bottom of our hearts because you're making the difference for the future of our community, our kids, our families. So thank you. To the Jack Student Beautification Team, wow. I was so impressed with these kids today because they one script, and I think it was just to kind of keep them on point, but these kids spoke, they memorized their lines, they knew what they were going to say, and they kept everything beautiful. And I think that's just, they can come to my house with a broom anytime and teach my kids who are adults. And the dual language program, I am so proud of that and everything, all the work you guys have done. I can't wait to the day that we hear that we're going to have all of our schools because I have a friend and who moved out of the district just before kindergarten started, and she was upset that her granddaughter was not going to be able to be in a dual language program. And I said, well, go for the variance, and she said, we're too far. So that is amazing work, and I think that I'm going to be knocking on some classroom door. I want in. I want to participate and see what these kids are doing. So, and I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, and it was too short for me, but welcome back.
Mr. Aldana?
Yes, thank you. The Jack students literally swept us off our feet. They were just awesome. They rock. So I wanted to say thank you for your leadership. You've displayed in just an immense amount of leadership for your students, for your staff, and for your community. So I commend you, for the short period of time you've been here. You displayed well. For you all, you just proved that you can lead from anywhere in the organization, no matter what position you have. It don't matter what department you're in, you can lead from anywhere, and you exemplify that. And I thank you. And truly it's an honor, as Ms. Pimentel said, to serve you as your governing board member. It's a pleasure, it's a privilege, and it really is. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy serving with our fellow board members. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for teaching your children, and thank you for taking on the challenges. It's not easy to be an educator or an administrator. For that matter, any position in our district, it's challenging. So I thank each and every one of you, and to our superintendent, again, thank you. My hats off to you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's my honor.
I was also blown away with the Jack students. Thank you for doing that. They were wonderful, great to listen to. I love the artwork. I was totally impressed with the bottle caps and the other lids and what was done with them was just great. The dual language program, a great program, a great addition to our wonderful district. And thank you for the recognition, Boardman. I really appreciate it. It's an honor and a privilege to serve on this board for such a wonderful district. I can't say enough about it. And I don't care what those charter schools do. They don't even measure up to our district. And if you've been following along, the Arizona Republic has been doing a great little blurb on charter schools. If you haven't had a chance to read this morning's, it's very interesting. And we'll see some legislation that'll curb a little bit of that. But thank you to all of you for making it such a great district.
My turn. I have to say, the amount of pride from those students that were here earlier. I was here early enough to get to talk to two of them, brother and sister, and they were part of this group. And they were telling me about how they did their projects, and they were just in shock and awe of how many bottle caps there are and how many different sizes too. But they took great pride in the project and what they're doing, and they really, really enjoy it at their campus. Dual language, I was here when we had it at Discovery, so it's not new, but it's back. So I will always be a champion for that. I truly believe in what it does for the minds of our kids. I'm thankful for all of you guys. We have a great district, and we're just going to be a little louder and more colorful, I think, in the future. And tell people that we're here, and we're not going anywhere, and we embrace our kids. But I'd like to thank Ms. Wilson. She's not leaving, but, for the years of being our president, she did a great job.
Yeah, well, ditto. No, as I said earlier, I really enjoyed the beautification presentation we had tonight. That really was quite fun. And they were well polished. And when I took my rock home, my daughter was very excited that the rock was there. And I told her what we're doing, even, as an 11-year-old, she's like, oh, this is exciting. And she started drawing all over my rock. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing flowers. And so it really was a fun activity. And I could see why they took such pride in what they did. And again, I'm just going to ditto them, the language. And then I just want to thank everyone for the thank yous. That was a fun video also. So anyhow, so at this time,
Madam President, I'm sorry. I have one thing. We received this today. Congratulations, Glendale Elementary School Parade Entry winner, best overall appearance. Told you, we're going to put our name on the map.
I just want you to know that it is the little golf cart that's...
Yes, it is. It is the board members.
And that's funny. And who drove it?
Yes, and Miss Pimentel with her wonderful conductor hat blowing a whistle. Doesn't look like a cigar, but it is a whistle.
That's funny. Yeah, well, you did a great job getting that together. It did look great. And so, all right, well, at this time, the governing board will consider voting to recess the regular meeting in order to convene into executive session for the following purpose. In accordance with ARS 3843103A5 for the purpose of consultation with or instruction to designate representatives as to negotiations regarding salaries or compensation in the form of benefits for district employees. So at this time, I need a motion to go to executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Ms. Pimentel?
Aye.
Mr. Aldama?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels? Aye. All right, we are going to executive session. Enjoy some cupcakes back there.
some breathing while we hired you.
Okay, I need a motion to reconvene in public session.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. See ya.
See you, bye.